This would work. This would work. What's up, everybody? Who that comments was coming at you? Little graphic content. Um, I had to postpone Wednesday and yesterday, and had a lot going on. Not stuff personally, family issues, but everything is a little bit better. So just wanted to do this. Boston Chris should be joining me, but if not, this will be a short show. Be a short show. So we're going to talk a little bit about PSA grading. I don't know what's going to go along with that. Also going to talk about little Deadpool 3, what expectations, and maybe San Diego. So I'll just be talking about some stuff like that. I did record an unboxing video like earlier in the week. I'll probably drop that this weekend. So that's what the agenda today. I've been getting books together for the auction, Band of Brothers auction. So definitely look out for that with myself, Bleecker Street, host K-pop. We're gonna have Papa Willie. I think Biggie Shack might be joining us. Cali Comics, and I think we have Tate, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but I think it was supposed to have Tate this time. So hopefully the connection is working okay. It's saying that my connection is unstable, which I have no idea. I don't know how to deal with that. But yeah, just all I can do is just deal with it. Just deal with it. It's kind of sucks. So hopefully that gets better. Yeah, so hopefully that gets better. I'm actually going to test it out right now. I do have the Super Chat channel membership giveaway going on right now. So definitely check that out. I'll show those books off probably in a few minutes. So we got that going on the channel with, I think, like 5 days left. So yeah, that's see what. Yeah, I do have like a upload issue, so that's why it's not getting the upload I should be getting. Getting in the 17s, should be getting in the 30s. So do apologize for that. Can't do anything about it. But I think I'll be changing the internet. What's up, Couching and Slouching? Stopped in. He left already, but thank you for stopping in. Nobody's in the chat, but they appreciate it. All right, so putting together some books for the auction. I could show those off if people are interested. So let's talk about the PSA. PSA. Let's see if I can pull it up and we could show it off. PSA grading. Grading comics. Maybe we can show some images of what it's supposed to look like. I didn't let them say, oh, it's showing that nobody's here. That's why I was like, nobody's here. Thank you for stopping in. So we're going to quickly talk about this. 1,000 people have talked about this on IG, YouTube. I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but this is the PSA slab here. Timu's trying to get me. I don't know how they're trying to get me. So that's the PSA slab. I do like the casing, the look of it. Not too thrilled about the label, but that's what PSA does. They've done that label for everything. Funko Pops, VHS, cards. Trying to think what else they grade. I think toy, like whatever you get, whatever they grade, they do the same label. I think they are very well known in the card hobby. They do Funko Pops as well. So I think they're gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna. With a lot of stuff going on with CGC, I could see them making they got stuff going on with CGC, and CBCS is never can be able to conquer a firm grip on number 2. They're number 2, but it doesn't sound like they're solid. The only thing they have is a better case, but they have a lot of other issues internally, and with the labels and stuff like that. But internally, they have issues. The reason why I say that is because guy who was, I think, working with CBCS, he left them to become the president for PSA on the comic grading division. So that should tell you something. But PSA is I would say, the number one in cards. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. We'll see how that plays out on the long run. I think they can make a strong push as number two. I think CGC probably will still be strong at a number one, but I could see PSA making a strong number two, especially with the people who collect cards, because they have a lot of card collectors do dabble in comics, but they don't do it as strong. But yeah, I'll probably submit a couple when they are active. Maybe more than a couple. I might say like maybe 3 or 4. Probably about 4. Probably just moderns. I might do a couple of moderns, a couple of older books. We'll see. And see how the pricing is, see how the speed, all that good stuff. So I'll probably, whenever they are active, I will send a couple of books, and we'll see how that turns out when they become available. I don't think I'm gonna sign up to no memberships with them. If they had, I don't know how they're gonna do that. So it's a lot of stuff. They're out there. I think I know they're at San Diego right now, and they're doing like some kind of purchase thing. You could purchase like some tennis shoes, like exclusive. Thought that was a cool idea. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how it all turns out. And we probably won't really know a big foothold in the whole situation until maybe I would say 3-4 years down the line. But we'll see. Oh, my buddy's here. The band.
Hello.
Austin Chris. What's up? Hello, K-pop. Thank you for stopping by. What do you think about the whole PSA grading? I know everybody's talked about it 1,000 times. I never talked to you about it. But
I didn't talk about it. So
I think what I came up with, I think they can take it over at the number 2 spot, but I'm not sure about.
I think so.
I'm not sure. I don't think they would take number 1.
It depends on what they have going on with the slab and everything else. Like Automatic Comics, I guess, had seen it. I don't know if he was at San Diego Comic-Con, but he had mentioned that. I guess it's a very sturdy, and I guess it was felt heavy. He's like, oh, you could hurt somebody with this slab. Now, I mean, who knows if he's just talking to talk or if he's being legit. But the one thing I didn't see on it was the actual grade. It just said AU for authentic. So I'm assuming that's just kind of like a placeholder. But I mean, overall,
they said that was just a demo or whatever you call it.
That's what I figured. It was just a placeholder label and everything. But I mean, it looks kind of cool. I do like that. I don't know if it's the slab itself or like the NOL, whatever it is a little bit frosted, so it makes the book stand out more.
I saw that it did pop a little bit better.
Yeah. So that's all pretty cool. The label itself, and I know people are gonna sit there and be like, the label's kind of plain. It doesn't matter as long as it tells you what the book is, can give you the information, and then and just has the grade on it. That's all that really matters. It doesn't have to be this crazy, insane looking label. It's not going to look ugly against other books, I don't think. I think it would be I think as far as, them getting into it, it's a good thing. I mean, just because you can, regardless of how you want to look at it and say, well, they'd be the third or the fourth, big company to get into it. PGX is not a big company, regardless if they've been around for a long time. And if you like them, great. But nobody's submitting. I'll put it this way. CBCS is just not a premier as far as submitting. People definitely use it. We have another, company that we have a friend that swears by it, and this one man by himself, and he loves this man to death, and just thinks that it's the greatest thing ever. And it's just one of those things where it's like, when you have just such a small operation, and no digs on EGS at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's one guy doing it on his own. So good for him to grow it, but it's just you're not going to make an impact. You're not going to make as big of an impact as other big
Mm-hmm.
companies. So with PSA getting involved, they have a
With
chance.
PSA get involved, EGS, I'm sorry to say it. I think it's Trony Trombetta.
Yeah,
It's over. I'm sorry.
I
I
don't think
know.
it's over. There's still people that will submit to them. It's just one of those things where it's just
Yeah, but
keep up with the volume.
you're the fifth company.
Well,
Um,
yeah, but the thing is,
yeah.
if he like the one thing I would say to him, or the one thing I would say for those who are big into EGS, and if you like them, like I said, great, no problem. But the thing is that if he ever got popular, I mean, really popular, he would never be able to keep up with the volume because there's one man grading all these books. It's too much for one person.
It
So
would be like
PSA.
a pause. He would have to
Oh yeah,
pause,
he'd
shut
have to
down
be
the
like,
website.
don't slap anything to me because
Yeah,
I'm
he had
not
to
getting
shut
your book
down.
back for about a year now.
I would.
I
I
back.
think honestly, how I feel about it. I think as soon as PSA is active, I think they're going to be number 3 spot automatically.
Oh yeah,
As soon as they become active. Now, card people who collect cards are going to submit a lot if they collect comics because they like
yeah,
PSA. Um, it's gonna be interesting because I think the people are talking about the label, but I care less about the label.
yeah. Me too.
I'm all about the slab and the protection of the book. And it
Yeah,
actually looks really good. Like you said, that frosted kind of outside probably makes the book stand out more. Um, I don't know how solid it is. They only been to that one show. To me, which is San Diego. To me, they should have been. If you're gonna start doing it in 2025. They could have
yeah.
actually went. They could have actually started going to shows since January. I mean,
Well, I mean,
2025 is right around the corner right now.
I think for them too, you gotta think about that too from the point of view of that, like, if you were gonna be like, oh, we're gonna slap books, well, what would have buried that announcement right away? As far as everything else that people had already established, JSA, authenticating and CGC authenticating books would have buried that instantly. So I think them waiting is actually kind of a good thing. Them waiting, especially where you
And
have
the
some things
CG,
happen
like
with
you said, the
CGC.
CGC with JSA makes more sense now. They had to know
Oh yeah,
about PSA coming in the forefront because guess what, guys? You don't have to have a witness with PSA. If you look at all
yeah,
their cards, people they get their card signed and they get their cards already auto grades and they'll say authenticated. They already have that in place. So
yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do the signatures. They're probably gonna offer it, but they're probably gonna be like, you don't have to, because we don't. When you get card signed, you just send it in, and we say if it's real or not. They don't have a different
Yeah.
label. They just
Like they
says,
don't witness or anything like that.
yeah,
So
yeah. So that's what
yeah,
I'm wondering what they're gonna do with that because that could be a game changer too. But that would make sense why CGC bought JSA because they'd be like, well, PSA is gonna just be grading them, even if it's signed. They're gonna say if
well,
the signature is authenticated, or
there's
give
that. But
a grade for the signature.
I also believe that CGC did it because it was such a big like part of it that they're losing, and I mean I don't think that the whole thing with people not submitting to the I mean I think that people's frustration with them not being there at a lot more shows is starting to show, and some people are like, well, I would go ahead and do this, but I just don't want to do it that way. Like I don't want to go through somebody else. I want to just do it directly with you, and I can't now. But now you can. Now you can get, and it's just like and then you have to think about it from, with CBCS, a couple of years now being like, yeah, like we'll authenticate, we don't care, like we authenticate signatures though, and how many books people have that just are just sitting there with. I mean, I have a bunch that have gotten signed that you know, I wouldn't submit through CGC because I don't want to get a green label because of them or whatever. Like I don't want a blue label saying, oh well, writing on cover or whatever. So that was a big deal for them, and I think that for them doing that, it was more to combat CBCS, but also it was something that they had to get ahead of, just because they had the scandal, the first scandal with stuff, and then they had that second one, and now that's what brought on people like, oh, you know what? You might be able to get some 9.9s out there if you really try. It's just like, wait a minute. So it's just like they do a lot of things reactively just to kind of get people's attention away from stuff. But as far as dealing with PSA coming into the game, you won't see much. I think they're kind of cool with where they're at for right now, and once they do be like, once they go live, then the CGC will do something to be like, oh, like, don't send it to them, like send it to us, like, we'll, whether it's, they'll lower their prices, or some of the new service something will happen with the net to kind of try to steer people away from that. And I think that PSA, the one thing that they have, or the one thing that can kind of make them a little bit, people a little apprehensive, is that people might be thinking that, they're kind of unproven. I mean, with cards, fine. Comics are unproven, so we don't know what's going to happen. And that I'll say anybody who's like loyal to other companies, the first thing they're going to do is if it takes, let's say that the price is high, they'll complain about that. If it's something like, oh, I submitted this book, it took 8 months to get it back, what the hell? But it's just like they just opened that. So there's going to be a lot of that. But I mean, it's definitely, I think any sort of criticism you hear is going to be out of, basically nerves and fear that there's somebody else on the block, and, they might be taking a bunch of people away from you just because there's a lot of people that refuse to deal with CBCS now, and there's a lot of people that refuse to deal with CGC because of different issues. Like, these guys had a clean slate, so as long as they come out and do the right thing, they should be easily poised to make a big splash.
And I think what they have an inside track on how to deal with customers dealing with the card community.
Yeah.
Also, like I said, they don't just rate cards, but cards, VHS. They've done that before. CGC. They do Funko Pops, which I don't know who else does Funko Pops besides a toy company, like toy grading places. I think the toy grading places do Funko Pops. I know CGC, CBCS, they don't grade Funko Pops. So it's like, if they can deal with a lot of those people, I think they can deal with that. And the good thing is, I think the customer service is going to be in the U.S. It's going to be probably in California, like the other businesses. I'm very curious to see. I mean, and also tell you something about, I talked about it, I said it a second ago before you came, is a guy who works for CBCS. He left CBCS to be the president for PSA.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like, that's something that, I mean, I don't know how I necessarily feel if it was like, oh, like, and guess who's going to be heading up operations at PSA? If Steve Borak kind of came out and was like, I'm working for these guys, and I'm like, all right, now you get your hands in all three of these companies at some point. Which I'm not against him or anything like that. I'm just kind of thinking that, like, that would be what I would expect.
If he wasn't working for my comic shop, I think they probably would have got him. But I think he's so happy with my comic shop, and he had stopped collecting when he was working for the grading company. That was just something that he didn't believe that was right. So by him being in my comic shop, which is like an auction, selling, all that stuff, he's back at collecting again. So I know he's probably like, I'm good. I'm collecting again. I got a really good job, paying really well in Texas. And he's like, I'm good. I don't want to go to California because that's expensive. You gotta pay him a lot.
Kind of crazy.
We're rooting for LexCorp.
Scenario. It's just gonna. Well, I mean,
Cliff. Honestly, if you look at PSA with everything, that's their label. That's what they're known for. That red and white label. I doubt they're changing the label.
Very plain.
I think they're gonna change the font, but that red and white with the PSA in the middle thing, I think that's gonna stay just like it is. It's gonna say uniform with all of the other grading stuff. Now they might change the font, make certain the number grade bigger or bolder. They might do stuff make the font bigger for the titles and stuff. But that's everything I think is gonna stay the same, which I'm actually fine with. I like PSA. They fall on a tune that CBCS used to say. It's not about my label. You can look at the grade, and that'll tell you everything. But it's not about the label. It's about that thing inside the label.
Yeah, exactly. I think is where a lot of people get lost. That's actually kind of where I think a lot of focus kind of went south with the other two, because they were just worried so much about cosmetic. That's why, like, I mean, because when you think about how much time and effort and just thought is put into CGC's label and how they're doing all these, they have all these really cool looking labels, custom stuff, the what's it called, the character ones and all the rest of it. And yeah, great, but you didn't think about the security of your slabs like that. That's where you were so focused on making pretty labels for everybody to like that you didn't look at this other thing that's like, yeah, there's a major flaw with your slab, pal. Whereas CBCS, they went ahead and have a very good slab. Their problem that they have is that their customer service is terrible, and they know that. And it's just like, but it's just like they really don't have any sort of like, you know what I mean? They're not looking to correct that flaw just because for them they're like, no, we're just looking to grade these books and get them.
How the customer service it's a little bit better than the story I'm about to tell you. And when I say a little bit better, I mean a little bit better. So I got some books back from CBCS one time, and the labels weren't correct. The label and I might have just had one label that wasn't correct, but you couldn't call nobody. You had to email them. So I emailed them, and then guy who was like in charge of whatever region, because they had different region part, he tells me to when I do another submission, write on the new submission the incorrect label and send in the book. I was like, are you kidding me? Now this is before my book ended up getting stolen, which I actually had paperwork for. But he wanted me to write down blase blah book, wrong label, error, whatever it was, and just send it in. And I was just like,
yeah, which
I was like, that's kind of the dumbest thing.
I can just send you a picture. You like that's the thing. You have a computer database system with all this shit written down in there, and like, okay, Fantastic Four number 12, and then you get the book like, no, this is not even Fantastic Four. This is Avengers number 12. Wow, just like, look, I can take a picture and give it to you and say, look, this is wrong. I'm gonna send it back to you. You go ahead and work to get this out of the case because I know your case is secure, and then just put the goddamn right label on it. It's not that bad.
I don't even think they have that on their website still. That's another thing. You talk about the customer service is bad, and I'm sorry, we're kind of getting away from PSA. This is what PSA needs to learn though. But their customer service is bad, but their website is out of date. The website is old and it needs to be updated, but I don't think they want to spend the money to do it. And I don't even think I know last time I checked, if you have an error or a label mistake, I don't think it's on the website still. I don't think it's still on the website. So I don't know how you fix that issue. Or if they have a cracked slab, or if you get a mailed in cracked slab, you know what I mean? So
yeah, well, that's the thing, that like they have a procedure that they have in place, which is you email them, they'll go with it that way rather than having it on a website, just because it's something extra they have to create and then put in. So it's just like they're not going to go ahead and do that. But it's going to be interesting to see what how everything kind of comes out, what it looks like, and then the response that people have from it. Just because it's going to be. I mean, I'm sure there's people going to submit right away, just because. I mean, why not? Let's see this thing in action. Let's see what's going on. But I think that the other two companies, CGC and CBCS, definitely should be concerned. Just because you don't know what's going to happen with these guys, how they're going to go about these things. What rapport that they've built up with different artists and stuff. Because I know that CGC has their signings and everything like that, and so that's big for them. Is PSA going to do the same thing? Going to get the same access? And then you have to one, and I'm not sure if there's anybody that's exclusive to CGC or if they have any sort of exclusivity rights where it's like, all right, you like outside of events, you can't do private signings with anybody because you're with us. Because that's another question. If that doesn't end up happening, some artists might not like. I know Jim Steranko is not good with that type of stuff. Like Jim Steranko is funny because like Rhode Island Comic Con tried to get him to sign exclusively with them and say like, all right, you're gonna, we want you to be exclusive to us, and told him a bunch of stuff, and he's like, you know what, I'm not going to Rhode Island anymore. He pulled right out. He's like, no one's telling me what I can do. So you never know how some people are going to react with that.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how it all turns out because I just think I think they're gonna do well though. I already said I'm probably gonna send them a couple of books, whenever they become active, just to test them out, try them out.
Yeah.
But I mean, besides that, I don't know if I'll send more than that. But we'll see. Time could change.
Yeah.
Everything could change once it comes up. I have no point to submit to CBCS anymore. I can tell you that, and that's before the whole fiasco. What happened? I was already in the process of not going to be using them anymore anyway. I got you get a better deal with the, program with CGC, but I don't mind trying PSA because I know they're a major player. What's up, Callie? And see how it turns out. See how it turns out.
Yeah.
I think it actually will turn out well. But it's gonna be some growing pains with them. If people want to use them, I would say as soon as they become active, I would say send some books because I guarantee they'll probably be quick at the beginning. But I think if you wait like 2 months after they already been active, they might get behind. I'm just saying.
Probably.
Just saying.
I mean, you have to figure that more people are going to go to them, and then convention season is actually going to be that's going to be the real test of it all. Like to see like how they do it, and if they announce that they're going to be at different shows, that's when you'll see a slowdown, just because they're going to get more volume than what they would expect people just to be sending in normally. So
I got a feeling they'll be at a lot of some California shows when they're live.
Oh yeah,
because their base is California, and they have a ton of shows in California and on the West Coast. So they might start there. They're definitely going to be at San Diego next year. They'll probably be there. They'll probably be at WonderCon.
I would expect them to be at all the big shows.
They're probably going to be at Vegas. Well, I don't know about all the big shows, but I know they're going to be all on that West Coast.
I think they would be at all. Like, I mean, when I say the big show, I mean like the actual biggest con. So
you're talking about like New York.
Yeah, they'll be at New York. I don't know about Heroes. They'll probably go to Mega just because of the fact that like those shows, like because you can't just stay within just the West Coast and that's it. Like you have to expand a little more and get your name out there. So they'll definitely go to New York, especially because it's later on in the year. And then they'll also do, they may or may not do MegaCon. I could see them doing that, but I definitely know that like New York should be on.
And the good thing about that is too, because I know CGC and CBCS do it more a lot more now. They'll probably do submissions for other stuff. Just like CGC does. Oh, bring your video games and this, that, and cards, blah, blah, blah. I think once they do it, they're gonna be like, oh crap. Like, because honestly, this is me. I got some Funko Pops. Not saying I want to get them graded, but I'm just saying I have some. I would feel more confident handing it to somebody than mailing it. I'm just saying, I feel more confident handing a Funko Pop to them than mailing it off because I would be more afraid of getting it kicked and whatever else in the mail. So they might get an influx of Funko Pops too. Because if I get a con exclusive, like you go to San Diego, they have Funko Pop exclusive. New York, they have Funko. Like you take that and go straight to PSA. Here you go. I mean, that's what I would do. That's just me.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think that I mean, it's definitely good news that there's more options becoming available. So that that's never a bad thing. Trying to think. I mean, I don't know what other stuff that you had planned to talk about today. I did watch Deadpool today. It was actually very good. And I was, like without giving any spoilers or anything like that away, I'll say this much: the only thing I worry about with Deadpool is that people are going to gripe and cry and whine that the other Marvel movies aren't like this, and how come it's not? Because you did a rated R one, and why can't we have more rated R content and all the rest of it? It's like, it's not going to happen. This is, I think that when it comes to Disney and what they do, For the most part, the rated R stuff is very few and far between. So just what I'll say to everybody is enjoy it. It's a very good movie. It's a fun movie, and but don't set your expectations on they're gonna do more stuff like this and it's gonna be frequent. No, it's not. It's just a good time, and it's a good change of pace for what they have done. And then trying to think of any other stuff. I do know I do know that I saw a video today, and I've seen a couple other things that I kind of do want to talk about in terms of what we do, and as far as making videos and all the rest of it, and how people are trying to, I feel like, try to influence everybody based on their own opinions, or just I think trying to manipulate certain things. So I was watching a video today, and I was just listening to it just to see what was going on. And within the video, it just kind of came out of nowhere. It was like, slabs aren't like people don't want slabs anymore. You can't sell them. Like comic collectors just don't want them anymore, and that's just the way it is. And it's crazy. And it's just like I was just like listening to this, and dude shared like an anecdotal story about it, and kind of was going on and on. And it was just like it was just such a weird thing where one guy was like, I can't move these slabs. I have hundreds of them, and they just want. I can't get them to go anywhere. But when I took them out and made them raw, people bought them instantly, and I got all these like lowball offers that were crazy, and I couldn't believe it, and all the rest of it. And I was just like, you must be barking up the wrong tree, or you don't have a rapport with these people, or you're asking too much money, which is most likely the case. And just it was just funny. And then later on, as they keep going, it just kind of turns into a thing about, well, I don't like slabs, and I think that it's ridiculous to have these things. And then went so far as to make the most disingenuous claim I've ever heard, which is, I would trade all of these for just great comic book stories. I'm like, well, if that's the case, if that's the way you feel, I saw some books that you had that you were showing off as being, just empty and, void of the soul and all the rest of that type of stuff. I can give you a great comic book story. I'll trade you for those books right now if that's what you really feel like, which I know that's not true. But what I'm trying to say is this: look, when it comes to all these things, people definitely make videos, and they definitely make content to try to make you think and feel that everything's kind of going a certain way. And I think that's done on purpose. I've seen people tell you, like, over and over again, the sky is falling, the market's over, it's done, it's finished, there's nothing you can do about it, it's over. And you know what they're trying to do? I honestly think is they're trying to get people out there that watch their videos to potentially sell their collections for ultra cheap, and just to get them to back off and like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to collect books anymore, I'm out. And I think it's the same thing kind of with the slab stuff. Either people are mad because they can't move a slab, or they slab every last book they have, and then get mad that nobody wants, ROM number 31 from, the Marvel run because it's slabbed and you should want this book. No, that's not how it works. And the thing is to say, like, nobody buys slabs. Well, let me tell you something. I personally watch on Instagram and YouTube shows where people sell slabs all the time. In fact, you can tune in tomorrow and see a show where people are going to be trying to sell slabs. And they may sell some, they may not. But that doesn't mean that they don't move. I've seen them.
The funny thing is they move. They move very. That's why I'm kind of happy I got on the short box avenue because they move very well on short box.
Exactly.
If you, but I try to move. Me, and people might. I don't know what it is, because people used to complain about not getting deals on stuff, or not being able to afford keys, and then when you give them to them, they're crickets. But like, I'll always try to sell something here on YouTube and Instagram for cheaper than I'm going to do anywhere else. For example, like this book here. This book here, I'm trying to sell for like $400. It's double signed 9.6. And that's on Instagram. It has custom label and all that good stuff.
Yep.
This book in a 9.8 unsigned is like $1,000 book, which is crazy. I'm not even half of that with a 9.6 double sign. And guess what? On YouTube tomorrow, I'm probably going to be at $375 plus shipping.
Well, there you go.
That's gonna be around the price of a 9.4 double sign. But you know, and if it doesn't sell, because I've gotten some lowball offers on Elite, and nothing against them, it's the people who are doing the lowball offers. Hey man, had somebody try to message me and say, "Hey man, would you take a trade and some money?" Blah blah. I'm like, no, I don't want to trade. I'm trying to sell the book. He's trying to trade me the same book I'm selling and give me cash. I'm like, no. And I'm like, and I explained to him, I said, dude, a 9.4 sold for $350. I said, why would I take $350 if a 9.4 sold for it? I said, and basically my thought, I didn't tell him this, but I'll tell everybody else since we're here. But if that book doesn't sell within the next, I would say after this weekend, I'll probably send it to Shortbox so they do their auctions.
Yeah.
And let them auction it off. I've sent 4 books to them on the auction. I've done well on 3 out of 4. So I'm happy with the percentage. Actually, no, I sent 5. Sent 5 books and I did 4 out of 5 was good. So I'll be happy with giving them the chance, seeing how it does. The movie just came out with Wolverine. That's a key Wolverine book, which a lot of people forget. So, and it's double signed by Claremont and what's his name? Terry Austin. So we'll see. Let's see. Let me shout out 90 really quick. 90 says what he says. Who that's taking care of the community? Just hit him up. Oh, yes, I do. I always work with everybody. But yeah, I'll probably end up sending it to Shortbox just to let them do it if it doesn't sell this week.
Well, that's another thing too, because it's like, and I made a comment on this video, and I was trying because I was sitting there and as I was getting into it, I was starting to get more and more annoyed with just basically like just the thought process of like nobody's buying slabs anymore. That's bullshit, and you know it. And just in general, like okay, and then even the guy's stories. It's like, well, how many avenues did you really go? And then I started trying to do a little bit of research and try to figure out, okay, let me see what you got. Let's see what's going on. And I couldn't find anything where this person was selling, just because I like the different avenues. Like I didn't know the guy's eBay. And then I couldn't find anything on Facebook Marketplace. And then Instagram, I mean, he has an Instagram, but it just shows books that he has. There's no asking prices or anything like that. So I'm like, if you tried selling on Instagram, I mean, I'm not saying that you're a liar. I'm just saying I don't see anything that says that you were trying to sell on this. And it was, so I think that really a lot of people just use stuff, like I said, to try to tell people what they should get, what they shouldn't do this and that. And what I'm going to tell everybody is this: like, look, use your own eyes and ears to figure out what's going on. Because there's a lot of people, I think, that are definitely trying to make you think different things, or trying to influence people to think differently because of the fact that they want things to go a certain way. Maybe they want you to think that, maybe there's slabs this person wants, and they want you to think, well, these things suck. Well, I might as well just drop them for nothing. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I'm picking up slabs easily, because it's like, and I'm sorry, but like, I mean, you like the slabs that were being shown. I'm just gonna say what it is. So I watched Sticky Goose's video it was a couple of days ago, and it just bugged the hell out of me. I don't even know Sticky Goose. I really don't know him. I don't have any sort of like hatred or anything like that towards him. I just was like, but it was just such a weird claim, and he held up like with say, like, I think it was a Fantastic 448, and he had ASM 129. He was like, I would trade all this stuff just for great stories. I would rather have that than this. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, Watchmen's one of the greatest stories of all time. I'll give you all 12 issues if you want to give me either one of those books. If you want to give me that Fantastic 448 slab, I will take that right now from you. You want to give me that ASM 129? No problem. Here's a great story, because you like great stories. Like, it's like, don't sit there and give me a disingenuous, like, I'll get rid of all this for this. No, you won't. Don't lie to me.
No, I mean, a shout out. Leaker brought up a good point. He bought 2 slabs. He'd rather buy, uneducated opinion without the wiggle room price. But I'm like, and I do a little bit. Cali, I'll buy slab like online, 100%. try not to buy them in person at all. Raws, I definitely look at in person, but I'll buy raws online from people I know and trust.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll try, and I do that more so through Elite because they have the guarantee, money back guarantee. So, and I've had a couple of incidents from people, and I've gotten my money back. Even I sent the book off to get graded. I didn't even press and clean it, sent it off. Came back green label. I messaged the guy. He gave me my money back. Gave me the money. I think for the slabbing fee as well. And I sent the slide back to him. So it was I've had a couple of incidents, trusting those people, but guess what? I still end up working. I'll do that with them. And there's a few others I'll buy from, especially if it's modern books. I'll buy from, and usually I don't have to worry about them. Me and Chris know this guy. He's a DJ from California, but it's you got to know your people, know everything.
Exactly.
And do your research. Do your research yourself.
Yeah.
Speaking about buying books and buying slabs, I didn't show this earlier, but this is the super chat giveaway.
Yep.
The super chat channel member giveaway. So if you're a channel member, you're automatically entered to win all this stuff. So these are all key books. $2, you can win all of this. I think I'm going to change it while we're at the last moment. For the last few days, let's just do $1 an entry. So if you do $1, you get one entry until the end of the, July 31st. So July 31st, last day. So if you want to enter in to win these books, all of these, you can win all of these. You got the first Arcade, first Captain Britain in the U.S. You got the first Nova, which has gotten super hot now, thanks to Kevin Feige. You got Mockingbird was it first appearance? You got first appearance of Jubilee. You got the first Binary, and I threw in a slab. We got the first appearance of him, Adam Warlock, and a 3.0. So yes, all this is going to go to one person. I'm going to start working on that list probably throughout the next, next few days, because I can work all on the ones that are already there. But if you want to enter in the win, just do the super chat. If you don't want to do the super chat, do the Cash App, because I do have a list of names for that. But yeah, let's have a little fun. Let me add another book. Let's get some more entries so I can have to pull another key out.
I haven't entered yet, and I'm going to. That worked for me.
This is Bleaker says I buy online raw experience has been great. Yeah, and let's see. You gotta know who to buy from. I don't really buy eBay too much, unless they got a ton of pictures and a higher rating.
Yeah.
I don't buy, like he said, stock photos. Definitely don't buy from stock photos.
No.
But yeah. So that's kind of like
Yeah, it just was something that and like I said, I don't know Sticky Goose. I just know that his video popped up and I watched it and I was like, and as I was watching and listening, this is nonsense. And I'm not saying that he's a bad person. Hey, look, the prevailing thought in the whole thing was that he doesn't like slabs. He thinks that they leave you empty and hollow, and apparently you can't move them. And then all the people that told you that these things, that the market was going to go up, they all lied to you, and slabs are just not the way to go. And it's just you know what? That's for you. That's your opinion. Don't be crazy and say nobody buys these things. I personally see people buy them just about every week, and that's just the way it is. And so that's a straight out lie. And all I'm going to say, like I said, if you really do, watch people and listen to their opinions, absolutely fine. Listen to their opinions, but do your own research, just because there's definitely people that are trying to lead you. I think they're trying to lead you astray just because they can, and trying to get people, and you don't know people's real motives with this stuff and stuff. Not saying that he has any terrible motives. I just don't think that he's legit on that. I don't know if he just made it for views, if he really feels that way, or what the deal is. I just think that there's no way that I believe that he was.
I don't have any comments towards it. Because we'll be on the next video he does. Speaking of that, that's what Bleaker's talking about. But we'll definitely probably be on the next video when he does his people who he watches and talks about them. But know what, it is what it is. You just gotta Just live your life. Don't worry about it. But it was,
Yep.
you know, I got a question, and this is a question for the chat as well. If anybody has been paying attention, and this is actually not. You don't have to have a. We don't have to have a big discussion, but I'm just curious to what other people are thinking. What number, box office wise, do you think Deadpool 3 is going to hit?
I don't know.
You got to give it a number.
Well. It'll do well just because I know people that like I have like friends of mine that don't like comic movies that know it's rated R and know that it's going to be like they've seen the trailers and everything, and so they've seen that there's swears and all types and then all kinds of violence has been promised by the trailer and all the rest of it. So they're going to go see it and it'll do very well with that. It's just the fact that they're also the types that are going to complain and be like, see, they made one good movie and then and it's just like, yeah, well, the truth is, like I said, don't expect this to be just the new normal. It's not going to happen like that. Like they're going to when they put Deadpool in the regular MCU movies, he'll make some jokes, but he's not going to be swearing left and right. It's just not going to happen. And if that's what you think is going to happen, you're out of your mind. But I think it's going to do well. I think actually the show that I went to today.
I'll give you. Over under $200 million. Over under.
Oh, for this weekend? I would say over. Like I feel like people would definitely go to see it just because.
Well, Cliff, not the overall number. We know it's going to hit a bill. It's like and appreciate the super chat. You got 2 entries in for the giveaway. Thank you. Let me give you a little video. Let me give you a little something. So you got to send another super chat, Cliff, so we can read that. But no, this weekend, I think it's going to go over 200 million.
Yeah,
I'm going to say. Only reason I say that because I looked at AMC where I live, and I looked at showtimes from Thursday through today, and they were sold out a lot. Sold out like I mean, talking about front row. I haven't seen people buy a front row in a long time. So
yeah,
and this is where I live. I don't live in the city of New Orleans. I'm like right outside. I'm definitely gonna say over 200 million. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna crack like I'm gonna say maybe 220, and at 220, maybe a little bit above 220.
yeah.
But it's going to get at least 220, I think, this weekend. Cali's saying 175 million opening. That's a good number, but I think it's going to do better just because it started Wednesday. They started doing showing screenings Wednesday where I live. So I know they did it here.
There weren't a lot of people in my theater, so but I went at 12:45 in the afternoon, so it wasn't like it was prime time. Like
I'm going to see it tomorrow, so I don't
Yeah, well, I saw it today just because tomorrow is my nephew's birthday party, so I was like, well, I'm not going to see it.
2:30. Bleak's going with the 2:30.
That's very ambitious. I don't know if it's going to make 230 million in the first weekend, but it's going to do well. And I mean, I think that people will definitely enjoy it. Like it's definitely a different kind of mood that they put into it. It's very funny. It's a really like good movie. But like I said, like it's not like they're setting the bar too high with like everything is just
when I open up the AMC app, that's what pops up. When I open up the AMC app, that's what pops up. Wow.
But I mean, I think that it's just one of those things where like people are now going to want that to be the new normal for like the edgy characters, and it's like you're not going to get that.
I think we'll see more rated R superhero movies. If this hits a billion, hits a billion, we'll see more. What I'm saying about seeing more, Blade's going to get it, and I'm trying to think on the DC side. If we end up getting a Lobo will get it. You know what I mean? So I think we'll see. Like I think we'll see
those. It's just if you're expecting because that's the thing. Like people are going to want to see more characters get gritty and get rough like that, and it's just like it's not always going to happen that way. Like certain ones, yes, and then like I said, like if Deadpool is in like some mainstream MCU movies, like when you get to like if he's in an Avengers movie, something like that.
That's my theater tomorrow.
Yeah.
At 12
they get
at noon.
well, that makes sense just because it's a Saturday. Like me going at 12:45 this afternoon, people are still in work, so it wasn't representative of what tonight probably is like. I bet you all the shows starting at maybe
Another
like 6
question
are all sold out.
Another question. Since Splash put this on there, over under 2 years before it ends up on TV. We're talking TV, not streaming, TV.
I'll be honest with you, I really don't know. What
because it's rated R and we're talking about regular TV, because that's what I'm assuming. Splash, you're talking about regular TV. I know I'm gonna say over 2 years before it gets on regular TV.
Maybe it's gonna take a while, and it's just like But the thing is,
I'm not saying it's gonna be 2 years, but I'm saying it's gonna be over 2 years. It might be like 5.
This way, you don't see Deadpool 1 or 2 on regular TV that much either. So it's just like
Has it ever? Has it?
Yeah, it's been on.
On regular TV.
Yeah, it's definitely been on. It's just it's not one that they put on all the time, just because it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to probably pay Disney a lot because it's on Disney Plus now.
And I think
that's why I don't see it happening on regular TV anytime soon. I probably should have did the over under like 5 years, but because they have their Disney Plus, you know what I mean? And honestly, Disney is all about money. If Netflix offered them like $500 million to have the streaming rights for 2 years, guaranteed they'll take the $500 million. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's regular TV. It's gonna be a while, but if you have any of the streaming services, Flash, you better watch it there. Within the window, but it's gonna be like Bleeker said. Like Bleeker said, this will be a while for streaming as well. I think you don't give money to Disney no more. You don't no more. Well, just to let people know, I'm gonna tell people a little hint on this. If you have Verizon,
you give money to Disney.
If you have Verizon, you're giving money to them anyway, because they made a deal with Disney. You have Disney Plus, even if you don't activate it, you're paying for it.
For you. you have money to Disney on things that you don't even. I bet you there's movies that that you've watched that oh, these are great movies. I love these movies, and you know what? Made by Disney. If the production companies that made them are all like Pulp Fiction, that's a Disney movie. Regardless of how you would think, Miramax was like under the Disney umbrella. So guess what? Miramax movies, like just about all the Quentin Tarantino movies, are pretty much Disney movies. So
then they're doing a deal with Max. They're gonna do like a combined deal, so you're gonna have Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max under an umbrella where you can get one price. I know you're probably just banking on regular TV, but those are some of the little bundles you can look at, Splash or anybody else. You could save a lot of money. Don't have Horizon. The Horizon, you don't see the Horizon, Splash? I said Verizon. But no, Legend, my quick answer, I'll drop it probably tomorrow. I'll probably drop it tomorrow in the afternoon. Or maybe sometime. I have it recorded already, Legend. But it's a nice high grade DC book. But I'll have it recorded. I just gotta put it up there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if we want to see, somebody said it earlier. I forgot who said it. He said, "Save money by not paying for TV." Not paying for TV. Then how you gonna watch it on TV if you're not? Splash, I don't know how to answer that question. If you don't have TV, how you gonna watch it on TV? But somebody said this earlier. I forgot where I heard it from. I think it might have been like a big time YouTuber, not in the comic world and like the movie and television and stuff. He said, or it might have been I might have heard it twice. It's
Right,
if
Touchstone.
something's good, like if you don't, you don't like big into theaters. Some people just don't like going out, I guess. But I'm gonna reward a movie if it's good, so they can make more. They're no offense, Splash, but if we all did the antenna thing, we wouldn't have any superhero movies because they're not making any money off it.
Yeah.
So don't take that the wrong way with what I'm saying, but yeah, we have to reward those companies that actually make something good by going see it so they can make more and keep it going. That's just
Hey,
my thought.
who likes the movie The Rock? Guess what? Disney movie. The
Oh
Robert
yeah,
Sean Connery.
yeah, Sean. That's a good movie.
It is. It's a Disney movie. And then was it Pretty Woman? Disney movie.
Like I have Disney Plus because I have my cell phone carrier. Like I said, did the deal. Verizon, not Horizon. Verizon did the deal with Disney, so I have Disney Plus basically for free if you think about it, because I'm paying for it anyway. And you get Hulu automatically with Disney Plus now, so I'm not paying for Hulu because I have Disney Plus. I don't think I'll get the bundle with the Max. They have some other shows that I really want to watch, like the Halo. I heard it was bad, so I don't even know what to think about that. I wish Amazon would have got Halo. But yeah, but
Here's one that I know. So Splash has seen this, and it's probably one of his a movie that he loves. He's like, I ain't giving no money to damn Disney. Guess what? If you like Good Morning Vietnam, Disney, you gave him money. So just remember that.
First, probably hadn't seen a movie in probably 20 years.
Right, that movie was like 40 years old. So
he said, "I'll leave it up to y'all for TV."
I just put it this way: if they rerun Good Morning Vietnam, guess what? Some of that money goes in Disney's pocket.
And I did check my theater. They have a lot of showings that are like basically empty. It's just that once you get like the noon and past noon, and then if it's like
Say you were in Vietnam.
didn't say you were in Vietnam.
I said the movie Good Morning Vietnam. The Robin Williams movie Good Morning Vietnam is a Disney movie. They made that back in the day, and it's just one of those movies that you wouldn't expect to be an actual movie made by Disney. But guess what? They did.
It's under the umbrella, under Miramax, Fox, 20th Century, whatever they call that stuff. I don't think it's 20th Century Studios.
Touchstone Pictures. Anything that was Touchstone Pictures, that was Disney. Hollywood, I think it's like Hollywood Pictures or something like that. That's Disney. So it's like there's a bunch of stuff that they actually have that you'd be like, really, like they own that. Like, yeah, it's all crazy, but it was all owned by them. It's all weird. So there's a lot of stuff that people wouldn't think were Disney movies. It's like, no, they're technically Disney movies.
So San Diego Comic-Con is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this: I don't know anything news about San Diego. I was trying to get something to talk to you guys about, but the guy bragged about it, but didn't tell us anything in our hunt chat because he's there, which was kind of messed up. I was like, why would you brag about something and then don't tell us? But so I don't have nothing newsworthy to talk about from San Diego. But I'll say this: I would love to go to San Diego Comic-Con at least once in my lifetime. But I want to do it as an extended trip. Like I would get there probably almost a week before, maybe a weekend before, and stay about 7 to 10 days in that range, and enjoy the beach and the area before con comes, and then enjoy the convention. I probably wouldn't do none of the all H's, like sitting outside, sleeping outside. I probably wouldn't do none of that stuff. I would just want to walk around the convention because it looked like it's huge, and it probably would take me 3 or 4 days. I probably wouldn't even see everything, but it would take me at least multiple days, and with knowing a lot of people who go to that show, especially that sell and do other stuff, I would hope to get in early to get certain things that I'm like I saw like they had this year, and I'm like, oh man, that'd have been cool to buy. And I'm the type of person I would have wore it, which was they had some tennis shoes that PSA I don't know if you saw it, like that, the tennis shoes, and they were like showing with the PSA slab. Those only could be bought at I think at the PSA booth, but it was like limited each day. I would have bought those and rocked those because I'm the type of person. I'm not a shoe head as far as buying something and holding on to them and never wearing them. I'd have worn. I'd have worn them. I'd have bought them like Friday, I mean Thursday or Friday, and then be like, oh, I'm wearing it Saturday.
Yeah.
So I saw that. So that'll be cool. I think that's one experience I want to do. That's why I'm kind of looking forward to Heroes Con. Not. There's no guarantee I'm gonna do it again after next year, but because it all depends on how it falls and stuff like that. But yeah, I would definitely that'd be that's on my bucket list to do as far as a convention.
I don't think I'll end up going that way. I want to go to California, but I don't want to go to San Diego Comic-Con. Not because I feel like it's something that I wouldn't have that kind of time. I mean, vacation time, I could have that much time, but I don't have the kind of money to stay in San Diego for a week or more. It's just not happening. So, but I just kind of thought about it a long time ago, and I've just never been the type to be like, you know what, let me go ahead and hang out here, just because I think it's just probably a little bit too big for me. I've also said the same thing pretty much about New York. New York is just, I mean, it sounds like a cool thing to go. And I love New York. I go there, I have no problem with that. But it's such a big convention, and it's 4 days, and it's just I guess just a really, really humongous spot, and the lines are crazy. I'm like, am I actually having fun? What am I seeing? What am I doing? So that type of thing would be kind of tough. But Heroes, I feel like it is not as just overpopulated, so it should be a good time. So that's why I'm gonna do that, because I'm like, you know what?
Oh yeah, What's it's gonna be fun, man. I know me and Chris are at the same hotel, which is gonna be fun. Yep. I'm very I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot further than I've gone for a convention.
Yeah.
The farthest I've gone is Dallas. But then I used to only go to my convention for a long time. I'm gonna be honest. I would have a convention, and then they have a small convention once a year around here. That's the only convention I would go to. But then I started going to Dallas, so this will be my first convention as far as I'm going. Because I think the flight might be like 2.5 hours. So
yeah,
for me, so this is gonna be like the furthest I'm going, which is very odd about anybody going to Heroes. I didn't know this. A lot of the hotels downtown don't have pools. Majority of them don't. Our hotel shares a pool with the YMCA, so you actually have to
remember the YMCA.
You have to reserve a spot to go to the pool, and the pool's in the hotel, but it's through the YMCA. It's weird. My wife told me, Chris. I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't see one either. I was like, I wonder if there's a pool in this place. Not because I was gonna go swimming, but I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's see what happens. But
yeah, because I wouldn't mind hanging out at the pool area,
Oh well, just in general too. If it's you did a long day, walking or whatever. Sometimes it's good. I mean, obviously depending on what time you get out and everything. But it wouldn't be bad just to kind of hang in there and be like, all right, let me just kind of go in there and just kind of just I guess relax a little bit and not have just kind of enjoy cooling off in the pool, and then also just kind of relaxing in a little bit. But I'm fine with that though, just because I'm pretty sure that it looks like the building is either connected to, or
they have a walkway.
It's not connected to it. It's down the street a little bit, and I'm just that's fine by me, because I'd rather I wanted to have a place that was close enough by that it's all right, it's not super far away, and you don't have to so it's if I want to go back and drop something off, I can part way through the day, or if I just wanted to be you know what, kind of tired, I think I'm gonna go take a nap for a little bit, I can just go and do that if I want to, which
I'm dropping the link in Splash, or anybody wants to chit chat for a little while.
Yeah, But just something that I had a thought on was just like, it's much easier to do it that way rather than like leave and then you can't. That's why like, I would love to stay all like staying at Terrificon would be amazing just because of the fact that you're right there, like literally, like you can just go from your room down into the convention, and then
That's the one with the casino, huh?
yeah. So I mean, I don't like I wouldn't care about gambling. I would just go.
No, I don't care about it. I just was trying to.
Yeah. But it's just like, but you can just, I mean, just the fact that you can just sit there, all right, let me go ahead and do this and get my stuff together, and then okay, I get a bunch of books or whatever. Or like if you're just walking around.
What I've heard about Terrificon is basically if you got the hotel room at the casino, you technically wouldn't have to leave the hotel because
no, you don't.
Things in there. And then they said they have restaurants and so you would be like you could actually just be like, all right, I'm here, I made it to Terrificon, and you check in, you could actually never leave, the hotel until it's time to leave.
That's exactly right. So you go in and really like it has pretty much everything there. So there's restaurants in there, there's there's like bars in there, the casino itself, there's nightclubs in there. Like, so it's just like, you really pretty much have everything all inclusive in one spot. So it's
what spot is similar to that? Dallas. Dallas has a hotel.
Yeah. Wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, and then, go right directly from there to the show and then just walk in. And then, just the same deal. The only thing that I would say it gets kind of tough is that at the times when people want to go and eat, the restaurants get overwhelmed sometimes. So it's just like, like the most popular one that I see all the time is there's two of them. So there's a Chick-fil-A upstairs that a lot of people go to. And it's just like, if you've never seen, like, if you've ever just, the busiest you've ever seen a Chick-fil-A, like this dwarfs it by like 1,000. Cause it's like the line like goes down and out the door and like wraps down the hall. It's just like, it's not that good. You're like really. And then the other places, there's a there's more than just one. There's more than just these places, but the other place is really popular. It's called Pepe's Pizza, which is very good pizza. And that one is another tough one. But like you can get in. It's just you're gonna be waiting a little bit. But it's a great show all around. And then it's just like and then there's a lot of people from the community that go. So it's just like mostly people up in the Northeast and everything. But that's one I would definitely like to do, all 3 days in the hotel. It's just, the thing is that you kind of have to commit to one, you have to commit to it early on. Like you can't wait until, a couple months ahead. Like basically when they open up the rooms in January, that's when you want to book because you'll get it for the best possible deal. Now it's just like, it's 3 weeks away. So it's just like, now it's just, there's nowhere, but even if you're looking in, the middle of March, you're going to end up coming across high prices and, like limited availability, which, that's always a problem. And, and the rooms are very nice. Like the hotel is you're just a nice place altogether. So, it's definitely, I think, worth the trip. It's a good time. It's just, it costs you a little bit.
Yeah, that's like I said. Dallas has a hotel that's connected to that convention. I think Kate Bailey Convention Center. It's the Omni Hotel. It's literally you could walk from like a walkway. You walk to the convention from the Omni Hotel, so you could actually do that in Dallas. I don't know how much the Omni is because we don't go there. We go to Hilton Anatote that has a water park. So that's where we kind of go. Hello. Hi. What's going on? How you doing?
Good.
That's very good.
Watch this. Ready? Daddy, put your arm out. Oh.
I don't know why you did that. I mean, you hurt yourself there. I didn't do anything.
He was like, ow.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Aww. Is that catnip? Wait, no. Is that dog meat?
Powderpuff Girls.
Powderpuff Girls.
That's Bonnie. That's Bonnie.
Wait, she probably is curling her hair so she could be the prettiest girl at the party. I'm gonna be the prettiest girl at the party.
So you is that what they do on the show? I've never really watched Powerpuff Girls.
I know. I like Mojo Jojo. I do.
Yeah, like I did watch one. Like, I watched like one episode. My sister was watching it, and it was like the one where like all the villains were together, and they call them the Beat-Alls. And Mojo Jojo was like in charge of it. Then he had this girlfriend who was basically like Yoko Ono and like ruined them. And that's really the only one I saw. So I don't really know too much about that show. I just know that they would that like there are three girls that have superpowers, and Mojo Jojo like hates them for some reason, and he's got like other villain friends that hate them too. And I'm just like, but it just because that show was, I want to say, Cartoon Network when I was in high school. I'm not saying that I didn't watch anything on there, but it was just like I just figured it was like a little kid show, so I never really watched that. Never watched Dexter's Laboratory either. I did like Johnny Bravo though. Johnny Bravo was hilarious.
So I could show a couple of books I pulled for the auction tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's just this is a few sitting here. So these are some of the books that I'll have on the Band of Brothers auction tomorrow. So I'll do a Star Wars lot. I'll see if I have any other Star Wars books to go along with this. Bye bye. And then I do have some nice female art germ covers.
yeah.
So these are high ratio. I believe this is a 1 in 200. This is a 1 in 100. But they'll be going for like less than ratio for both, individually. So it'd probably be like $50 start bid for both. And I'll see if I can add something to it. I'm finally gonna let this bad boy go. This Walt Disney Comics, and it's from the. I'll see if I have another one. Secret Sound Collection. It's a high grade. It says fine, but it looks better than that. And I'll probably just have it at what I paid for it, which is $150. So if somebody wants that, I'll have this high grade Avengers 10 First Appearance Swordsman. So that'll be on there. Yeah. So Swordsman is going to be on there. It's probably like a 7.5. Maybe. I got this from Jordy, but so if Jordy said it's a 7.5, it's going to probably be an 8 or an 8.5 maybe. But yeah, I'll let that go. Another one I got from Jordy because these older books, I don't have time. I got to get a presser again because Dustin is going missing. So this is probably Jordy put this at a 3. So after press and clean, I think it'd be like a 3.5 because it has to get spine rolled in to be fixed. A peanut number 1. So those are some of the raws I have. I have way more than that, but that's some of the stuff besides a few slabs that I'll have for auction. I don't know the start time. If Bleeker's still here, he can mention it, but I think the start time is going to be like either 7 Central or 7:30 Central, which will be 8 or 8:30 Eastern. So just be on the lookout for that for the Band of Brothers auction. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of deals. I'll probably do like every purchase might get a free book. I just have to put them together. So I'll probably do that as well. I just got to get the books together that I'm going to do as the free books to be thrown in. It'd be like $30 books or higher. So that's kind of something I'm thinking about doing. If I have enough books, I'll do it. But yeah, what else they got? So, any conventions you got coming up before the end of the year?
There's so 2 weeks from today. Sorry, no, 2 weeks from tomorrow is gonna be Wicked Comic Con, which that's they have actually a pretty good lineup. And then the week after that is Terrificon, and that is probably going to do it for me for conventions for the year, just because, as far as I, have kind of looked at it, once Terrificon comes, I'm shutting everything down so I can save money up for Heroes.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my entrance. Ready? This is my entrance.
Okay.
I bring the pen like this down, pick that, this down, pick that, this down, pick that. Get it. Straight to you feel like straight to you feel like
Great.
Bye.
Bye.
Down, pick that, this down, pick that.
But that's what I have as far as conventions are concerned. Like I know, Rhode Island is going to be a little later on this year, like in November, but I'm going to skip that. I went last year and it wasn't too bad. It wasn't, that's when I had my my moment of very angry facilitation. So I was like, you know what, done with that. But other than that, I mean, it was good. I did get to meet Christina Ricci, so I wasn't like, there was some silver linings in there.
So
But I wasn't
speaking
trying
of
to.
that, and that kind of goes back to the PSA thing.
Yep.
PSA getting started, and if they're not doing witnessing, but you can still submit stuff signed, and they're going to authenticate it. You think the facilitator? I don't think they're going to die. The reason why I say I don't think they're going to die because they might be able to go to certain conventions and get signatures by certain people that you won't be able to get. But so I think that'll still happen. But I think it might slow down a little bit. I think facilitation might slow down a little bit just because I know I won't be using them if CGC is not there, if PSA is not there. Mainly CGC. If CGC is not there, I'm probably not gonna submit until I get home and just get the GSA label or PSA label, whatever they do. That's what my thought process is. I think facilitation might slow down. I don't think they'll get as much, but they'll get stuff because they'll be able to go to places. You might not. I might not like. It's like say somebody only goes to New York or San Diego, like Alex Ross. Yeah, okay. J. Scott Campbell's another example, he's been doing one signing a year at CGC. So if he can just be patient and wait for his 1 year signing, and don't worry about facilitator on that. Clayton Crane, he hadn't. I don't know if he went. I know he hadn't gone to any conventions that I've been to, and he's went to those conventions last year. So I don't know what's his deal this year, but he's doing a signing at CGC, which I don't want to send because I know how much he charges for a signature normally, so I don't want to pay $85 to $100 to get a book signed and stuff by him through CGC. So, but that's actually not a bad deal when you think about it because he charges I think $40 to $45, and witnessing is $40. So if it is $80, it's actually a good deal. I gotta check what he's charging for the CGC signing because his signature through them might be worth it because that pays for the signature and the grading. So I just have to see about. But yeah, facilitation I think is going to slow down, but it's only going to work for people who really not going to go there and never meet that person like a what's his name brought from Italy, So
yeah.
Or like Perillo only goes he hardly leaves Italy. When he does, he only hits up a couple of conventions. So I don't even know if Perillo's in San Diego, but he came to Dallas. So
yeah, I know. For me, I just think that there's really no reason to do it anymore. That's just my thoughts. I know other people are like, oh well, I think it's a great thing to do. I don't really care. Because the way I look at it is just if you're not going to a place that I can get to, then I don't need your autograph. I just don't. I'm not going through and getting just hammered the way I did last year for submitting books. It was just not fun, and just really made me angry. And it was just one of those things, it was basically looking at it where I just felt it was one of the first times that I felt really taken advantage of by somebody working at a convention. Is you're providing a service, great, and you helped me get the autographs I wanted to get, but the amount of money you charged me for it was insane, and it was just I won't do that again. And it's just one of those things where it's just like I get that you need to make money and that you're trying, you know what I mean? Like I get that completely, but I do feel like it's like where I'm already paying for the because it would be different if I was all right. So I'm paying for the signature through you, so I'm paying that cost and the grading. All right, fine. But I had to pay like individually for my signatures too, and I was like, okay, so I've already paid them for signatures. So what? Why is it so expensive? And they just didn't have a good answer for me. They were just kind of like, wow, that's just the way it is. Okay, well, I mean,
And what happened with you didn't happen with me and a couple of other people is they didn't let you use your CDC account.
nope.
Which is
So
I would honestly that would have been me. I'd have been like, oh okay, and I'd have just left.
yeah, no,
But
there's nothing I could do because I like it was at the end of the day, so I was just like, but I wasn't expecting them to be that way, and then it was like, all right, well, like that's the end. So that's why for me, like, I won't ever use a facilitator again. I have no. That's why when people are saying like, oh, but you know, it doesn't just say witness. You got that line on there. It's different. It should be that. Like, no, it shouldn't. I will fully 100% disagree with anybody who says that witness books should be more expensive for resale. No, they shouldn't. It should be the exact same goddamn price, and that's the way I feel
guess
about it.
what? And guess
And
what? I've noticed JSA books and witness books. I haven't seen a difference.
yeah, no, it's just one of those things where like people want to try to make things exclusive, so it's like, oh well, it has to be this, and like I think what they're trying to do, kind of in a way, where some people are still going to try to want to see that JSA verified books kind of still get that green label treatment a little bit, where it's like, oh well, you really want that thing, or do you want this wonderfully there's this wonderful yellow label, like see how wonderful that looks. There's no B, there's no nothing. It does not look so. You don't have to worry about that black. That it just really detracts away from it. It's almost like it's kind of funny. It reminds me a little bit of that Beverly Hills Cop, the Axel Foley movie, when he's like saying, he's like, change your name from Foley to Saunders. He's like, Foley. He says, it's just strong. It makes me smile when I say, look at me, Foley. He's like, Foley sounds strong. He's like, Saunders, Saunders, Saunders. Like he says it all like sad sounding, and that's the exact same thing. It's like, oh, you got this, well, what a pity. You have that horrible line on the top of yours, whereas this one says in gold, witnessed. Isn't that nicer? Like, no, it's not. It's the same goddamn thing. I guess they didn't play that game with me. I don't play that game anymore, just because in the end of it all, you have to think about it from the point of view that you're doing what you can afford. You're doing what is right for you, and for me, I'm perfectly fine with having that line on there, because in the end of it all, like if you don't like it, I mean, they're my books, not yours. And if I decide to sell them, then I will get them and sell them. But you know what? I know in the end I will pay much, much, much less than what I did with facilitators, and that saves me a little bit of peace of mind, just because, okay, let's say it is a little bit less. I guarantee you, the books I got done at that show itself, I will not make my money back on, because I would have to overcharge people to kind of make up for what I got hammered with. And it's just like, so like, but at least this way, all right, you submitted it in, you did this, and then I can make my money back and be fine with it and have no problem whatsoever. So that's why I say, it's just peace of mind. Like, I don't have to submit it right then and there. I can submit it when I feel like it. It just makes so much more of a stress-free environment, because you also don't feel like you have to rush around and get everything done. It's like, what? Because like in those ones where you have a facilitator or something like that, like you're kind of like, I got to meet this guy. Is this guy going to on a panel? Shit, I got to meet it because I only have this much time in this day. Like, now it's just like, you know what? Oh, I didn't see him this time. I'll see him next time, and I'll get a sign when I feel like, I'll submit this with the rest of these books. Like, I just submit, like, and that I think too is kind of a good thing, where it's just like, you know what, I'm submitting, 5 5 Adam Hughes signatures all together just because I got Adam Hughes and I'm getting these Walt Simonsons, together. Let me go ahead and submit those. So it's just like, and I think that kind of makes it a little bit more fun to be like, all right, I submitted all my, random signatures from these people and they're all coming back. Like I have, my what was it? The Crisis on Infinite Earths. I have it double signed by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. And she's like, you know what? Got that done years ago. It would be awesome to have them, slabbed, and then to have just, even if it's just witnessed, it would be fun to have them slabbed and say,
Splash.
George Perez. So,
Hello. Are you saying you had to pay for a different label?
No. So basically, there's with CGC, they're now doing verification because they have a company called JSA that like they bought, and so JSA will verify signatures for them, and then you get a different label. So it's a yellow label with a black stripe that says JSA verified.
So basically, for their service, you're getting a different label.
That there were some people that are in YouTube and stuff that were like, oh, I don't know about this. I think it should be, I think that not having that is more special because, and it should come at a premium because you had to pay the extra money to get it, witnessed and everything. So, it should be more expensive than on the resale market than this. And I'm like, you know what? It shouldn't. It should be, it is what it is. And you shouldn't be, it was almost a way of trying to look down on it because the first place that mine went to was resale. And it's just like, yeah, well, all right. But what if you don't want to do that? I mean, if you do want to do it, fine. If you don't want to do it, fine. But I just like, I just think the secondary market is what it's going to be. And I honestly don't think they should be any, cheaper. I don't think, to an extent, I don't think that CBCS necessarily should be cheaper than the CGC slab. I mean, but that all comes with the territory. Like, that those don't sell for as high of money as a CGC. So you kind of have to, deal with that. Now, if you think that this book is worth $1,300 because it's the same as CGC and the same, then you stand your ground and don't sell it until you get the price you want. But you might be holding on to that book for a long time. So it all depends on what your stance is and what type of, I guess, time frame you have for that book. Like if you need money now, and the going rate on, let's say, an Iron Fist 14, that's a 8.0 is let's say like $800 in CGC, and you're trying to sell it at CBCS of the same grade, you're probably only going to get like $700 at the most, just because it sells for less.
Well, mark my words. Eventually, it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. That CGC is going to do like they do. Is going to do like they do in the coins. They're going to start selling different labels. If you want a special label, you're going to end up having to pay more for the label, because they do that with the coins. They've been doing that with the coins for quite a while.
Oh, you have to go to bed. Go.
Tell them I said night.
Okay, they heard you.
Tell your daughter that I said good night.
I will.
But you'll end up spending more money for a different label, because they'll offer these special labels, because they do that with coins. The numismatic part of CGC does, and then the special labels, when people say, "Oh, well, this is a special label. It's got the flag on it, or it's got Black Panther, or it's got Avengers wrote on the top in special, font and everything." And that's
different from what we're talking about. But I mean, they do that. But like this is just different. Like this isn't like a special label. It's just a different way of submitting books. So if you have books that are already signed, that previously, if you try to send them in, they would get either a blue label and it's a writing, say George Perez written on cover, or you would get a green label. So this just basically, like, you're still going to get a yellow label, but it's going to have a black stripe at the top. So they're verified signatures now. So
all the books I got signed, I got pictures of them signing it. So that's good enough for me, and it didn't cost me nothing.
No, it's just for people that like have had books signed in the past that may want to get them submit them to CGC. Like now you don't get that green label anymore. You'll get an actual like yellow label, like yellow and black label, which I mean, it looks nice because it's not that green label that everybody would be like, oh, well, you can't sell this because everybody thinks that there's something wrong with it, because that's usually the same. Like if there's something that's cut out, like if it's missing a value stamp, you get a green label, a qualified grade. It's not the same as an actual like legitimate grade, but this basically gives it legitimacy.
Yeah, I think what they should do is keep all the labels the same and just put up top missing this. That way you can just look at it and. But I don't know. I don't get many graded. I have end up having to buy them graded because I can't file them raw. But
Well, it depends on the book. There's plenty of stuff out there. I'll say this much: like for everyone who says that there's no way and you can't possibly, I get news for you, man. Like there's avenues. You just gotta look.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Golden Age stuff, I find most of it is graded, and I'm sure if I held out long enough and everything, I would find the raw ones. But I mean,
what I would say is
it's hard to find those Golden Age. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're that determined, though, you can do it. You just gotta, it's just one of those things where it's just like, you may end up having to bite the bullet and get a graded one, then crack it out.
Well,
but,
see,
depending
it's
on,
gonna have to get cracked out anyway, because a lot of people just do not want to face the facts. In 7 to 10 years, you're going to have to crack it and change out that paper and everything, because it can't sit in that holder for 30 years. I mean, even CGC says 7 to 10 years that you got to crack it out, and that might be a scam for them to make more money, but that paper in there will absorb all the acid, then it'll start reverting back. It's collected all that acid, then it'll start releasing it. That microchange paper.
Yeah, no, the thing is that no one's gonna do that just for the mere fact that they don't want to pay again, and then all of a sudden, like if that did happen, then your 8.0 is now a 5.0, and no one's gonna do that.
Yeah,
it'll just stay in the slab, and it'll be an 8.0 forever.
Yeah, and when they absolutely do start cracking them out and they find out all these old books are damaged on the inside, it'll make my books go up even higher because mine are in Mylar.
You may end up being long dead before that actually ends up happening.
I'm
people are not like I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm just saying, like, nobody is going to go ahead and do that. Like I know there's people that have the original CGC label, like, oh, these old label CGCs, great, wonderful stuff. And like for the fear that what they have is going to go down, they will not take it out of there. So whatever is graded, if it's a graded at 9.6 from when CGC first opened, it's going to stay at 9.6 for the next 1,000 years because they're never going to take it out.
Well, I plan on living another 200 years.
I commend you if you can do that, but I don't know that technology exists to keep us alive. That kind of
not yet. It doesn't exist yet, but I know they would have to. It had to be more than just technology to make us live that long. It had to be make our bodies live that long, because I don't want to be a brain.
If I go faster than the speed of light and go for a couple of years, then faster speed of light come back, I went forward in time, and I'm the same age just about. So I'm gonna figure that out. Me and my alien buddy are gonna figure that out, and I'm gonna take my whole collection in the ship in about 5 years, and come back, and it'll be like 100 years in the future.
And then like what happens?
I have no comment. I'm gonna drop the link again for people if anybody wants to join. I don't know if anybody wants to join, but we're not going to stay much longer.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I joined. I figured y'all were fixing to stop. I was going to wait in the back. I was hoping Bleeker would come on and I'd talk crap.
I thought he would. So I put it in for you guys. I thought he would pop on, or even Biggie, but we're about to get off of here. Chris, got anything going on you want to say before you head on?
Not really. Like I just don't have anything planned for the moment, but I just know that get those shows coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. And other than that, on Sunday, we'll be on Bleeker's channel for church.
Yep.
And the hunt like later on tonight.
Yeah, the hunt later on tonight.
Within like
Later
another
on
hour or
tonight.
so.
Yeah, hunt later on tonight. Definitely Bleecker Sunday. Check that out. And then we got the auction Saturday. Banner Brothers auction Saturday, once a month. Definitely check that out. I don't know when me and Chris are gonna do another graphic content. I got when his schedule, his job gets settled down. We'll talk. We'll get that situated. But yeah, you got anything going on, Splash?
Might make a video this Saturday. I'm not sure yet. We got our town celebration going on Saturday, so it depends on what all goes on up there at the park. 101 years. I mean, I know we're not that old, but yeah. If you haven't, check out my latest video I made about 2 or 3 weeks ago, showing magazines.
Definitely go check that out. Definitely go check that out. If anybody wants to join for backstage chitter chatter, I'm more than happy to join us. But yeah, definitely check out Splash's thing and thumb it up and make him make more videos. So I'm gonna show this off again. This is the super chat giveaway, channel membership giveaway. One person is gonna win all of these key books. And it's as little as $2. But right now I'm doing a special for the last few days. Every dollar gets an entry. So you got every book is a key first appearance or something key about it. And then I threw in the Thor 165 3.0. So probably about $150 book, I would guess at least. So that's gonna go all to one person with free shipping unless you're in like Canada. Then you just I'll cover $15 of the shipping, and you just have to pay the difference, which I don't think somebody from Canada would mind, since it's all where else are they going to get all of those books for like whatever the shipping cost is. So definitely check that out. If anybody wants to do a super chat giveaway, now is your time. I'll give you guys a little. I'll do a little fun video for that. Give you guys some extra time to do that right here.
Nice night.
Mm-hmm. Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So got a little extra time if you want to join in on that. But I'll drop a unboxing video a little bit later. This weekend I recorded it earlier on in the week. Something I purchased from Shorts Box by mistake. Not really by mistake, but I won it and I didn't believe I was going to win it. So definitely check that out when I drop that. So you can always do the super chat there, and I'll be able to highlight it because it'll be a premiere. What else? But yeah, auction tomorrow. I'll be dual streaming it on my channel. So that's all I got, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. You guys have a wonderful weekend. If you want to chat backstage, hit the link. And we'll end with a band of brothers.
Quick, think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem. Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. The Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners.
You son of a bitch.
We happy?